Have you been plagued by dark thoughts lately? Have you ever thought, why is this thought popping in my head? Am I this bad of a person that I'm thinking something like this? Congratulations, it happens to everybody. Now, what we have to understand is our brain, it's incapable of producing thoughts. So everything you think is not yours. Your brain acts like an antenna almost and catches waves and frequencies around you. So a lot of the things that goes on in your head aren't your own thoughts. So when people say you should take onus of your own thoughts, it's not exactly true because they're not your thoughts. So sometimes when you're just like doing something and suddenly a thought pops in your head and you're like, why is this coming to me? Like, am I this bad of a person that I'm thinking like this about a person? No, you're not. No, you're not. These thoughts don't come from you. They come from spirits from the underworld who are just suggesting you to do certain things and think certain way. How you interact with them then becomes the crux of how your life plays out. And this information is not in public domain, let's say. So people think that their thoughts are their own and their actions that have been influenced by those thoughts, they are their fault. But if more people know that these thoughts are just suggestions coming from the underworld, people will not blame themselves, at least the way they do, and they will have a different outcome to their lives. Because so many people who we see doing shootings and stuff like that, and you always hear them say that they heard the voices. If only they knew that's not them. Maybe they know and they can't do anything. But the more we understand these concepts, the more we can help other people educate themselves, and then we might have like a better world. There are practices and exercises that you can do that helps you prevent these voices from taking over. This is no way medical advice in any way. These are just practices I do when my mind is going certain way and it's showing me all the bad things that can happen. I just divert my attention to all the good things that can happen. And you have to realize that many times it plays in your head over and over and over again. And then you're like, the situation becomes so much worse than it can ever be in your mind. You're like, oh my God, why is this happening? And it's like, it's very addictive. So when this attack starts coming and you start thinking bad things, it just keeps sucking you in, keeps sucking you in. It just takes a lot of willpower for you or anyone to just snap out of it and be like, okay, it's okay, I don't need to think about it, stop playing in my head. But yeah, sometimes you have to just think the opposite way. Sometimes you have to just like say it, just stop, just get out of my head, I don't want to think like that, I don't feel that way, just stop and get out of my head. There are also ways where you can talk to the spirits that have been causing those things, those thoughts, and you can send them to God and they go, and you can get very nice messages from them when you send them to God. But I think everybody should know this so that they can better equip themselves in face of an attack when it comes, because a lot of everybody goes through this, and the more we educate ourselves around these issues, the more we'll be able to tackle them graciously.